In fact, breaking news in the last hour or so, confirmation from the presidency that Dr. Nkabane is out as Minister of Higher Education and Training. She'll be replaced by her now former deputy, Buti Manamela, who becomes minister. He will then have his old position filled by Dr. Nomusa Dube, the former KZN premier. Nkabane was due to face, by the way, members of parliament in a hearing tomorrow after she was a no-show on Friday, going instead to a DHET program hosted by the department in the Eastern Cape. The Democratic Alliance's Member of Parliament, member of the Committee on Higher Education and Training, Karabo Khakhau, joining us this evening. Karabo, good to have you back on The Full View. Has the President finally given you what you wanted?
Hi, thank you so much for having me, and good evening to your viewers. What the President has given us is what the people of this country have been calling for. They, the people, have been making it clear, particularly young people of this country, that they deserve more than Nkabane as the Minister of Higher Education. Young people across institutions of higher learning, from TVETs to universities to CETs, have made it clear that for as long as Nkabane is at the helm and unable to transform the space, the PSET sector for them, that they will not rest and will not be able to realize the manifestation of their dreams well enough. Equally, young people who depend on a well-functioning SETA space for its mandate to fully be rolled out, for them to see a skills development agenda that meets the needs of young people who are sitting at home, hopeless, locked out of opportunities to put food on the table for themselves and their families. They too have made it clear that they deserve more than Nkabane. And so what President Ramaphosa has delivered here is that which the people of this country have been asking for. So this isn't a DA victory. It is not a Karabo Khakhau victory, but it is the people's victory. As far as we are concerned as the Democratic Alliance, we will not rest. We will not stop fighting until we see a detoxing of the cabinet of corrupt and compromised ministers. Nkabane is one, but we still have Thembisi Melane, we still have David Mahlobo, we still have Nkabane Chabane, and there's still the question mark around Senzo Mchunu. So until we are able to see a cabinet that reflects the hopes and aspirations of the people of this country, the Democratic Alliance will not stop fighting. The hopes and aspirations of the people of this country are that, one, their ministers must be able to deliver services to them. That, two, their ministers must be beyond reproach, that they are not supposed to be liars like Nkabane is, that they're supposed to have their heart in the right places, that they are supposed to honor the blood sacrifices that this democracy is built on and not trample on it by a cadre deployment and lie into parliament and through, and effectively, by extension, the people of the Republic of South Africa.
So realistically then, it's unlikely, isn't it, that you'll get to a point where the President will sack at least 3 ministers and a deputy minister based on a demand by the DA, even if you're a GNU partner. For instance, the argument has long been the people you've named don't face official charges. So far, it's allegations, implications, supposition, etc. So how exactly are you going to push a broader campaign, for instance, for the removal of ministers Nkabane, Minister Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, etc., given the very fact that they've not been charged, whereas with Minister Nkabane, it was less of a criminal issue, but to do with what was a questionable process around the appointment of these seaters, at least at this level?
I don't think we agree. What was Nkabane's case was about criminal offense, a criminal offense. Lying to Parliament, Thembekile, is a criminal offense. It is committing fraud. It is a statutory offense under Section 27 of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act 4 of 2004. That is the case that is before the President right now that he considered as far as Nkabane is concerned. Her lying about the process that she followed in appointing ANC cadres, a classic style of ANC cadre deployment here, is what's on the table. And that is a matter of law investigation. So I don't agree with you to say that there's something that distinguishes her from Simelane, whose case is also being investigated, from Chabeni with the outcome there on the court judgment there on Karabo. So there's nothing wrong. Also, that there's nothing that distinguishes David Mahlobo as well, as far as the capita findings, the report of Zondo, they are concerned.
I think Karabo phrased better. The distinction I was trying to make then is that they face allegations of corruption in some instances, whereas this was different, lying to Parliament, etc. But I don't want us to get too bogged down in that. She was due to appear, Minister Nkabane, before Parliament in, just under 24 hours from now. That's not going to happen anymore. Does that mean that there's no further interrogation needed of the process around the appointment of the chairpersons of these SETA boards? Now that she's out of the picture, does it draw a line under the saga?
Absolutely not. The Hawks are investigating, and in the same way that Tony Yengeni was found guilty, Nobuhle Nkabane must be found guilty, and she needs to face the full might of the law. And if she's still a member of parliament, ethics must still deal with her. The public protector must also still conclude on the case. Just because the president has sacked her, it doesn't mean that she escapes the ongoing methods to hold her accountable. What also remains is, even though that she was the final person who signed the appointment letters, it is very hard to believe that Nobuhle Nkabane acted alone. So we still need to be able to get to the bottom line of who else aided and abetted her decision, so that we're able to give a good reflection of the 2020-2021 AG report and assessment as far as the appointment of SETA boards are concerned. That is something that Mutima Namela moving forward must be able to correct and make sure that is no longer a conversation. But also moving on to having a conversation about whether or not he is fit for purpose for this role. What we will judge as a fit for purpose, what we will judge on whether or not he is fit for purpose for this role is his ability to transform NSFAS, his ability to ensure that student accommodation is dealt with, his ability to restore faith in the SETA space in itself and detoxing it from cadres that are lazing around and not giving effect to the mandate that has been given to them. And what will also judge his contribution towards the sector, his ability is his ability to make sure that there is good quality infrastructure across universities, TVETs and CETs.
Okay.
The NSF also needs to be revamped. There's a whole lot about the peace sector that is wrong, that needs to be corrected. And only if he's able to correct that will we say he's fit for purpose. Until then, we're yet to see.
Does the fact that he's been in the department for as long as Buti Manamela has been, years in fact, does that work in his favor?
I mean, you have people like Gwede Mantashe who have been in government for years. Does that work in their favor? Are they effective ministers? That's yet to be answered. It's very questionable. We have people who in the ANC have been in government for many years. That does not make them qualified or suitable for the positions that they hold. It only means that they have been there enough in the system to understand how it works, whether they tangibly deliver services for the people, whether they are of good quality morale for the people, for cabinet appointment. That is a different question altogether.